Hello everyone, and welcome to the course material installation lecture for Windows and Microsoft users. In this lecture, we're just going to be going over how to download Python and the Jupyter Notebook system onto your computer in case you don't already have it. Later on in this same section, we'll get a much deeper introduction to the Jupyter Notebooks, how best to use them, and also where to access the course material and those course notebooks, as well as the interview and mock interview notebooks. With that said, let's go ahead and jump to the browser so we can download the materials. Okay, so for everything we're going to be using in this course, I highly recommend the Chrome browser. It really works best with the Jupyter Notebooks. But let's first begin by installing the Jupyter Notebooks. Go to your favorite browser. I highly recommend Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, and type in Jupyter into the Google search engine. So Jupyter, search for it, and the first link should take you to jupyter.org. You can go ahead and click that link, and this is the Jupyter Notebook website. The Jupyter Notebook is essentially a web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain live code, equations, visualizations, and explanatory text. Their uses include data cleaning and transformation, numerical simulation, statistical modeling, machine learning, and much more. In this course, we use them as the basis for all the interview practice problems, as well as the notes that correspond to each of the video lectures. Once you're on this website, you can scroll down, and you have two options here. Try it in your browser and install the notebook. Something that I want to note is that if you click Try it in your browser, we'll go ahead and open this in a new tab. It'll take you to try.jupyter.org. This will allow you to go ahead and try the Jupyter Notebooks in your browser without installing anything. So you could just come to try.jupyter.org and then click here, write new Python 2 or Python 3, depending on what you want to use, and you can go ahead and begin to immediately code in your browser. And I'll run that cell, and we can see the output. Now we'll explain what cells are, what this toolbar is, and how it all works in next lectures that are coming up. But just so you know, you can go to try.jupyter.org and try this all within your browser without having to download anything. But let's actually focus on downloading. So we want to go to click here on Install the Notebook. That will take you to the installation documentation for the Jupyter Notebook system. You'll see there's three options: installing Jupyter in Python, installing Jupyter if you already have Python, or upgrading to a Jupyter installation. Here, we'll focus on installing Jupyter and Python. For new users, it's highly recommended that you install Anaconda, which conveniently installs Python, the Jupyter Notebook, and other commonly used packages for scientific computing. I highly recommend you install Anaconda, even if you already have some sort of version of Python on your computer system. So if you click this link, it'll take you to this tab, to continuum.io/downloads. You can go here, jump to Windows, if you're using Windows, and then go ahead and click the graphical installer. Once you download the installer, you just double-click the executable file, that's the .exe file, to install Anaconda, and just follow the instructions on the screen. So that's what I recommend for any user who doesn't have Anaconda yet. If you already have Python and don't want to install the entire Anaconda distribution, you can just install Jupyter, depending on what installation packaging manager you have. If you already have Anaconda, you would just use conda install Jupyter as a command line either in your command prompt or terminal or PowerShell. So I'll show you an example of that. If I go ahead and type in PowerShell into my search and click PowerShell, I'll get this command prompt terminal available to me. And then I can just type conda install Jupyter, enter, and if you already have the Anaconda distribution, this will install the Jupyter Notebook system. If you're using a different package manager, such as pip or pip3, you can just say pip install Jupyter or pip3 install Jupyter. And you'll see here, it'll start fetching the package metadata, solving the package specifications, and eventually download everything for you. I'll let that continue. You should note that some of Jupyter's dependencies may require compilation. In this case, we won't have to worry about that. We're just going to be using basic Python. You can also upgrade a Jupyter installation. If you already have pip, just use this, pip install -u Jupyter. If you're using Anaconda, just use conda space update space Jupyter. That's really all there is to it. So again, just an overview. Go to try.jupyter.org if you want to just use everything in browser. Otherwise, Google search Jupyter and then click on the link that will take you to the installation page and follow the directions that best suit you. I highly recommend installing Anaconda, which will take you to this page. Click on the graphical installer, follow the instructions, and continue from there. Once you've installed everything, you can just go to your PowerShell or command prompt for Windows. Either one is fine. And then type in Jupyter Notebook, and you should get your own instance running. Okay, so that's it. Go ahead and check out the other documentation here as far as running the notebook, migrating from IPython, etc. But once you've installed everything, all you have to do is go to your command prompt or terminal, type Jupyter Notebook, and you should see your own local instance of the Jupyter Notebook running. We'll go over in a lot more detail the Jupyter Notebooks and the course notebooks in the future lectures. Okay, thanks everyone, and I'll see you at the next lecture.